I never had it at all.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to try this video one more time. There was just this weird ass, annoying ass sound coming from somewhere in my house. I don't know, it just kept popping up in all these videos every time I tried. So I'm going to try one more time and hopefully it goes smoothly. And I'd also like to say real quick that if you do not appreciate cuss words, if you think girls who cuss are unclassy or what the fuck ever it is, then please click off my channel right now because this video is going to have a few cuss words in it. But with this voiceover, I just like felt more myself and like more in my environment. And so if you don't like cussing, then you can go suck it. Alright, so underneath our primer, we are going to moisturize because we are going to be up all night at prom, dancing all night, sweating all night, not making babies all night, because if you know me and you know my story, then you know how that shit goes. So we're just going to distribute this all over our face and moisturize just like any other time, just to give our face a little bit of life and moisture, because we're moisturizing. Yeah. And then for primer, I'm going to use my Marc Jacobs Coconut Face something primer, like I never know the name. And I'm just going to distribute this all over my face. And I start from the nose out because I like to think of my face like a flower and we are blossoming. So go ahead and prime up that face, girl. And then to just lock in all that moisture and primingness, we're just going to spray this Smashbox Photo Finish water all over our face just to lock everything in like I just said. Oh my god. And for foundation, I'm going to go in with my Tarte Hybrid Gel Foundation. And for prom, you want full coverage because you want your face to look nice and smooth and flawless for all those pictures. So I'm just painting it on here with a Morphe brush. It's just a flat foundation brush. And then I'm going to blend it out with a damn beauty blender. For full coverage foundation, I definitely recommend this one, although the finish of it is dewy and not matte. So for matte, I would definitely recommend the Too Faced Born This Way foundation that I was using religiously for like a year. Or if you're just going to go to the drugstore, definitely the, is it L'Oreal Infallible? I don't know if it's L'Oreal, oh my gosh. Or a lot of people rave about the Maybelline Fit Me foundations or any of those. But if you're just like not a foundation person in general and you're only wearing it for this one night, then it does not really matter which one that you choose because you're not going to want to spend a lot of money on something that you're not going to use more than once. And you know where I'm getting at. Okay, bye. And again, I'm just going in with a damp beauty blender and blending out this foundation onto my face. If you own a beauty blender, do not use that thing dry. I am telling you, like some of my friends, they'll just like whip out their beauty blender and be like, oh my god, look, I have a beauty blender. And then they'll just start dabbing their face without putting it under the faucet. And I'm like, girl, you need to get that shit wet like that. Alright, so now I have all of my foundation and primers on. So now I'm moving on to eyebrows. I actually don't like to really film this part because, you know, I'm not that good at doing my eyebrows, but I did try something new today, and you might notice that my brows aren't as harsh as they usually are. It is because I just filled them in with strictly just powder. I did not use my pomade like I normally do, so they did look a little bit more natural today, and I really like how I did that. But then again, I did spend like $40 on 2 different brow pomades, so I'm gonna have to use them up or something. Girl, if you follow me on Snapchat, you know what fucking came in the mail. You know. Look at these colors. Look at these fucking colors. That's what Manny says on his YouTube channel. So I really think it's just gonna become a tradition that anyone who uses this palette uses a mixture of Beaches and Cream and Sora for their transition shade. And if you don't know what a transition shade is, it is just the shade between your gap and your lid. Wait, what? It is the gap between your lid and your crease that is going to help blend your other shadows seamlessly and more gradient. And what the fudge are you doing, girl? Stop it. Stop it. So anyway, if you're doing any kind of eye, a transition shade is just desired to help everything blend nicely. And another tradition is taking frappe for your outer corner just to give your lid a little bit more dimension and getting ready for this amazing sexual eye look that we're about to create here in a second. And then with the color Luna, I'm just taking this flat, could be concealer brush, but is an eyeshadow brush. And with some MAC Fix Plus on it, I'm packing that color right onto my lid in kind of like a cut crease motion, like shape-ish thing. But I'm going to blend it out later because I really think this look was more of like a sunset, sexual, bunny rabbit sunset eye, if you want to call it that. And yeah, so I just swiped this all over and packed it right on there. This color is so beautiful along with all the other colors in the palette, and Manny did such a great job. Here I just picked up a little bit more Beaches and Cream, which is more of a neutral transition shade, just to help blend out my crease a little bit because I did not want to go for a cut crease look. I just wanted to go for a nice gradient, like smoky sunset, whatever the fuck I called it before look. And then taking Aphrodite, which is the darkest color in the shade, which I love. It's like a dark plum purple kind of feel moment thing. And I'm just working this in my outer V, and every time I put down my brush to look at my eye, I picked up a different brush, so I don't know what brush I used for this part, I'm sorry. And I just repeatedly went over this step like 5 or 6 times just because I like my outer V to be like really, really dark and smoky, and every time I blended it out, it was just not as pigmented as I wanted it to be, so I just built it on there and made it as dark as I wanted it to be, so you can smoke it out to your liking. And then taking Artemis, which is the lightest shade in the palette, I am highlighting my brow bone, and I cannot express how much I love this brow bone highlight. Like, I have met my match with this color. It is so beautiful, and it just completed the eye look. Obviously, I'm not done yet, but it was just like so amazing. I just kept looking at it, and I was like, oh my god, like this is the brow bone highlight of the century. Then with a fluffy blending brush with nothing on it, I just went ahead and blended out my crease and my brow bone highlight just a little bit more to make it a little bit more gradient, because you know me and my gradients. I fucking love gradient. Just building on a little bit more of Aphrodite here because, again, it was not as dark as I wanted it, and I just need that shit dark. I needed my outer V fucking dark. Alrighty, so now I have my eyeshadow finished and I'm about to do my winged liner, and girl, I know you can't see it that well. I am sorry, I have a low definition camera and my zoom was on and I didn't fucking realize that, okay? I'm sorry. And for winged liner, I'm just taking my Kat Von D Trooper liner, which is a felt tip, and I'm just carving out the base of my liner because, you know, I have to use like 18 different eyeliners to achieve my wing that I get every single day. And I'm just like, again, carving out the base of my liner, and then I will take my Wet n Wild liquid mega fucking liner and go in from the inner corner almost. Oh my god, good girl, good, you did it. And I'm just like connecting my inner corner to my base. And then I'm going to draw on my wing, and a lot of requests have come through lately about how I do my wing, and everyone compliments my wing, and I'm trying to teach you guys. I am sorry, like, it is hard to describe and explain how I'm doing this shit. Like, it's just a flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. Like, I've been doing this same wing since like the 8th grade, so that is how I know how to do my wing so well. And yes, I know my liner may look sloppy at first, but I think that once you put on your false lashes, it seriously makes all the difference. Like, it makes it look like you made a perfect straight line. So I'm just curling my lashes and applying some Lash Dominator, lash extension, mascara by Bare Minerals. And then I'm going to pop on my false lash. And I have been stacking 2 different lashes lately, so I'm using Kiss Lashes by Walmart, I think. These are the 11s, and then these are the 10s on the bottom if I ever point to them, Jesus. And then here I'm trying to show you how I stack the 11s on top of the 10s, but I was obviously having trouble because the adhesive kept sticking to my fingers. But yeah, you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing. And I just like to do it when they're fresh and new out of the package because they have that sticky adhesive from sticking onto the package, and then they can stick to each other better without me having to put extra glue on them. And if there's one piece of advice that I could give you about wearing false lashes, it is to let the glue dry for a few seconds. Let it get nice and tacky, because if you try to pop those lashes on as soon as you put the glue on, they are just going to slide all over your eyelids, ruin your eye look, and make you have a bad day. So then I just set my lashes right on top of my lash line base thing on my eye. And as you can see, I put them on a little bit too early, so my glue was a little bit slippery and slidey. If I would have waited a tad bit longer, it would have been easier to apply. So then I'm just pulling in my inner corner and sticking that to the inner corner line lash strip. Oh, and every time you blink, they're going to pop off, so watch out for that. And then I just kind of finagle it until I get them stuck on there. Oh, and she blinked. Okay. Alright, and moving on to contour and highlight, I'm going to be using my new Naked Lightweight Skin concealer stick wand, and I'm just going to apply this under my eyes in a triangle shape. And as you know, I like to apply it in a triangle shape because it's going to give me more full coverage under my eyes than if I were to put a half moon. I'm also going to draw a line down my nose and some little sprouts on my forehead and make my nose and forehead look like a tiki torch. And I'm also going to highlight my chin and around my mouth to accentuate my assets. Go ahead and grab your damp-ass beauty blender and just blend all that shit out. Just blend it real nice and blended. I'm just going to use tapping motions and no rubbing motions and just blend everything out. You're going to see how many times in this video I can say blend because I'm going to count. And then setting my under eyes like usual, just dabbing, 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 and then setting with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And try not to look down in this process because the more you look down, the more creases you're going to get under your eyes, you old lady. So then going in with my Kat Von D Subconscious shade, I'm taking this Real Techniques sculpting brush and I've been trying this new technique where I'm just kind of carving out the base of my contour, and then I'm going to go in later and blend it with a bare contour brush and then put my blush on and my highlight. And I've actually been really liking this a lot better than how I used to do it because it just looks a little bit more natural. I'm also just going to brush a little bit of Subconscious onto the temples of my forehead to make my face look bronzed and tan without the bronze and tan from the sun because you know, okay, what are you doing? Okay, stop it. And then you know my routine with baking. I'm just taking this cosmetic wedge that I got at Walmart or any drugstore for like $1 in a gajillion pack, and it's not focused, I'm sorry. And taking my Laura Mercier translucent powder and just carving out my carved ass contour ass face. I'm also lightly setting the concealed areas from earlier that I blended out with my damp beauty blender. And then taking my palette from Forever 21, I'm just using this dense Morphe brush to apply this blush, and I put way too fucking much on. But I blended that shit out real quick because I was not about to look like fucking who has blushy cheeks. Someone with blushy cheeks. You know what I mean. I just wanted to look natural. You know, natural. And then in the process of blending out that blush, I just brushed up all of my bake, and I'm going to do my highlight next! And then taking Moonstone by Becca and my Morphe highlighting brush that I don't freaking know the name of, and ooh, wait for it. Ah! Look at that, look at it, look at it, look at it. Oh, yes, girl. Yes, you highlight that shit. It is prom. I do this highlight on the daily. I don't even give a shit. And oh, here it goes. Ah! Okay, so it's prom, girl. Glitter that face up. Like, who gives a shit? You need to be nice and glowy because it's fucking prom. It's your fucking prom, girl. Also going to highlight the tip of my nose, the upper bridge of my nose, the tops of my eyebrows to give them more of a lifted effect. And I'm also going to give myself a nice glittery ass mustache for my lipstick gloss here in a few minutes because it's prom and I want to have a fucking glittery ass mustache. Is that a problem? No, I didn't think so. Okay, bye. And then taking a small pencil brush, I'm just taking Mars, which is a beautiful fuchsia red color that I really love. And I'm going to be smoking out my lower lash line, and I'm just going to apply this from the outer V kind of halfway. And then I'm also going to go over it with Aphrodite, and then I'm just going to smoke it out real nice. Then I'm just using Artemis, which is the shade we used for our brow bone highlight, and just highlighting my inner corner and the part of my lower lash line that I did not smoke out. Does that make sense? And now the only thing we have left to do is our lips. So I told you guys in my haul that I was going to be using these two colors by Bite Beauty a lot, and that is what I'm going to do. So I'm taking Lychee in the lipstick. Is it a lipstick? A lip crayon maybe, and then I'm going to go over it with my honey gloss, and that is going to finish up this look with a nice nude lip. And it's kind of cool because Manny also recommended the honey gloss on his March favorites, I believe, and then he also used honeycomb lipstick along with it, but like I said in my haul, I liked Lychee a little bit better, so this is just kind of like an all-around Manny inspired look. And then we can set that shit with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray because we're going to be up all night not making babies. And this look is finished. One of my lashes is falling off, but that is okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you guys like the voiceover style. I really liked it because for some reason, I just felt more comfortable talking in this microphone than I did on the camera, and I could like be more myself. And thank you so much, Manny Mua and Makeup Geek, for creating this palette. It is so beautiful. The pigments in it are amazing. I really just love how this look turned out. I think it was God who fucked up my first 2 videos to make me film it for a 3rd time, because this look just seriously turned out so beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!